My name is Rob Wallace. I am your life coach and spiritual mentor, and this is Self-Love with Law of Attraction. Welcome, folks, to Module 3 of Self-Love and Law of Attraction. And the title of this module is Meditation. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving a talk on what meditation is, and then by the end of this module, I'm going to give you a few pointers on how to get started in the practice of meditation. Now, before we finish this module, I just want to touch upon meditation itself. What is meditation? Meditation is when you still the mind in order to align yourself with the I Am, to align yourself with your divine being. It's to align yourself with your divine self, your whole self, your holy self. That's where the word holy comes from. Whole. It means you're seeing past what appears as separate and you're connecting it up to realize it's whole. Your divine self is your whole self, your holy self. And you get in touch with that holy self when you align with yourself. Now, here's another interesting fact regarding meditation and why you have to still the mind in order to get in touch with your divine self. Again, we have to go back to biblical scripture. Now, it's said that God created the earth in 7 days. This is allegorical for the process of creation. The 7 days of creation, which you know from the Bible, it's the description of the process of how something's created from non-physical into physical being. The 7 days of creation are actually the 6 directions of creation and the 7th point which all creation rests on, you see. This is a process of something coming from non-physical into physical reality. It's the 6 directions of creation: up, down, left, right, backwards, and forwards. Okay? So that's up, down, left, right, backwards, and forwards. That's the 6 physical points of creation. The 7th point of creation is which all of these directions rest on. All these directions are motion, but there's the one law which does not move, which holds all of these things together. And that is the 7th point. That is the divine point of creation. Now notice, it says God rested on the 7th day. What that means is that the 7th point of creation, that's where the divine source of creation rests. The divine source of creation cannot be moved. That is what is meant by God rests. So in order for you to know yourself, you must rest. You must rest the mind, because only in rest can you be aligned with who you are in terms of your own divine identity. And the 7th point of creation is love. All directions of creation rest on love. Without love, nothing can move. Without love, there is no direction. Without love, there is no expression. Love is what rests at the center of all creation. Now let's touch upon the word meditation itself. Meditation has a direct relationship with words such as mediate, mediation, medium. All of these words are interrelated. Now, the word medium and media comes from a definition which means middle, or that which sits in the center, which is very interesting because if we go back to Buddhism, which many people relate meditation with, of course, meditation's been used in all sorts of cultures, but in this day and age, a lot of people associate meditation with Eastern practices such as Buddhism. And as we know, Buddhism talks about the middle path, the middle way. Because as we know, the divine source rests at the center of being. And in the center of being is that place of non-judgment. It's that place of unconditional love. Now, as for the word meditate, meditate does have a relationship with the deeper meaning of medium and media. It means to measure, it means to contemplate. You see, it means to go to that place, that center of being, in order to measure oneself. You see, now we can move this definition of meditating around to say something like this: meditation is the practice of going into one's own center of being in order to reflect upon themselves, in order to measure themselves in the center of being, which is the place where you go in order to look at yourself. Because who are you? You are the I am. And so when you meditate, you are literally going inside to reflect upon yourself. How do you reflect upon yourself in physical reality? You use a piece of media. A mirror is a piece of media, the same as a TV, the same as any camera. A mirror is a piece of media. It's maybe a very basic piece of media technology, but it's still media. You can see a physical reflection of yourself in water. You can see a physical reflection of yourself in a window. That's a physical reflection of yourself. You see, that's the physical reflection. But the spiritual reflection of yourself, listen carefully to what I'm saying here, that takes imagination. It takes imagination for you to spiritually reflect on yourself. It takes you to go inside, not outside, but inside, to reflect on your higher spiritual self, to become aligned with your higher spiritual self. This is what meditating is, and it is done when you still the mind, because when your mind is still, you become aligned with the seventh point of creation, which is the place where all creation comes from. The seventh point is where the divine creator rests. Meditation is all about resting, because when you rest, you're in direct alignment with the divine creator, which is your wonderful self, and which is love. Okay? The divine creator is love. The divine creator rests on the seventh point of creation. And when you love yourself enough, you will rest and meditate and reflect on yourself. That is what meditation is. Okay? So, folks, I'm going to take you through a very basic guided meditation. Now, before I take you through the guided meditation, I'm going to discuss a few of the practices before I actually go into the practices with you, okay? So, it's probably going to be a few minutes of discussion on how to get in to the meditative state, and then I'm going to guide you through the actual meditation process, okay? Now, when you're starting out to meditate, you don't need to worry about getting into some fancy pose, or you don't need to have any concerns regarding getting into certain positions or doing any laborious practices, because that's not what meditation is all about, okay? What you want to do is you can either find a comfy chair to sit in, or you can lie down. Either way, whichever works for you. And the best thing to do is sit down and relax your body. It is vital that you relax your body. If you feel that your body's not relaxed, a good way to get yourself started off is to start with your feet and point your feet outwards, just for maybe 10 seconds. Because what happens is throughout most of the day, your feet are turned in. If you see what I'm saying, they're turned in because you're sitting down most of your day in an office, or you're walking, which is turning your foot, making your foot go upwards towards your leg rather than outwards. So when you push outwards, what you're doing is you're creating an equilibrium with your muscles. And you do the same with your hands. Because so many people get worked up and their hands are clenched, the best way is to press your fingers together and just give them a tiny little stretch, a tiny stretch. Place them together as if you're praying and just give them a little stretch, okay? And press. It's almost sort of like a relieving pressure, but don't do this so much that your muscles crack. You don't want to do that, okay? You just want to give your muscles a tiny little stretch, okay? Lower your shoulders, get relaxed. And then what you want to do is you could do two things. You can keep your eyes open, but I would only recommend this if you know exactly what you're doing. What I would normally recommend to any beginner in meditation is to close your eyes and to focus on one thing. People say empty your mind. That's not particularly what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is to slow the mind right down, slow it down, and focus on one thing. You could focus on your breath. You could focus on your heartbeat. Or if there's a certain sound, you could focus on the sound, like meditation music. Meditation music is great because it forces your mind to focus on one thing. Focus on whatever it is you want to focus on, whether it's breath, your heartbeat, or meditation music. Focus on that one point, okay? If you find that your mind's drifting, don't worry, don't fight it. Just accept it and then bring your attention back to that one thing and practice focusing on it. Because what you realize is when you wake up, your body's going to be utterly relaxed. That is because you've stilled your mind, you see? That is because you've brought your mind into such a relaxing place that your whole body is relaxed because your mental state is relaxed. So the trick is to focus on one thing. You can either do it on your breath, but don't try and breathe in some sort of rhythmic manner. Just breathe normally and focus on your breath. If you can't do that, focus on meditation music. If you can't do that, what I would do is if you want to practice another technique, draw a dot on a piece of paper and focus on that dot. Just focus on a dot. Because what that's doing is it's taking your attention away from everything else. As long as your attention's getting taken away and focusing on one point, then you'll find that your mind will become relaxed and rested. Now, if you want to try an advanced approach, I wouldn't say this is advanced, but for beginners, this might be a little bit of a task. When you close your eyes and you see darkness, you don't necessarily see darkness. You actually see some wonderful shapes. You don't realize what they are because you're not paying attention to them. You're sort of like letting all these weird and wonderful little distorted shapes and wonderful things pass you by. If you close your eyes, you actually see stuff, but you don't pay attention to it. What I would say is pick a point in your vision when you close your eyes. You're going to see some little random thing caused by the light outside. Focus on that. Focus on that when you close your eyes. As long as you focus on something and you relax and you're at ease with yourself, that is absolutely fine. Just get your mind still. And that's what meditation is all about. Now, let's go into the guided meditation. So what I want you to do is either sit down, find a comfy place to sit, or a comfy place to lie down, whichever you choose, okay? Now, what I want you to do is relax your body. Give your feet a little stretch outwards, point your toes outwards, just a little stretch, just enough to feel a little bit of pressure. And hold your feet outwards, just for a few seconds, and then let them go, and then circle your feet, feel them being relaxed. And what I want you to do now, after you do that with your toes, clasp your hands together, okay? Clasp your hands together and then pull the palms apart just a little bit so that your fingers are pressing on each other, okay? Now don't hurt your fingers, okay? Just a little bit of pressure, just enough so that you could feel a little bit of a stretch on your fingers. So push them together, okay? Can you feel that little bit of pressure? Actually feels good. And then just let them go. Let them go and wiggle your fingers around and feel that relaxation kicking in. It kind of feels pressurized just for a little bit. And then just feel the flexibility of your fingers. Because like I said before, we go around hunched in and tense. And the whole point is to go the opposite way, just to create some equilibrium in your body and just to relax your body, okay? Now, what I want you to do is place your hands upwards when you're meditating. This is psychological because what it implies is you're ready to receive, okay? So if you can, just place your hands upwards in a relaxed position. Don't stretch them out. Just keep them relaxed, as if you're ready to receive, as if you're ready to catch something, okay? Then close your eyes and take a deep breath. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Okay? And do this about up to 6 times. Very slowly. Don't rush it. It's very slow. Breathe in. And then breathe out. And you go, ah. Now you can breathe in through your nose if you wish, which is very gentle breaths, okay? And then start to feel relaxed. Go with that flowing feeling that's going through your body right now. Just relax. And then in your mind, focus on anything. Focus on your breath. You can focus on my voice if you wish. But focus on one thing, okay? One thing that is present. Either your breath, your heartbeat. And so just keep breathing. And so just start to breathe normally. Don't make any deliberate rhythm, just breathe normally. And just focus. Focus. Say the word love randomly. Just say it out of nowhere like this. Create some silence. And then say love. Okay. Just give yourself about 15-20 seconds in between. And then just say love. And that gets you to focus on that word. Don't say it too loud, but say it with enough kick that you can feel it in your body. Love. Okay? Affirm it. And that grabs your attention and it keeps your attention focused. Then relax again. And then just go into a silence. Go into a silence for as long as you can maintain it. If you find that your mind starts to resist, then give yourself a break. Don't rush it. There's plenty of time, okay? So try this for literally 2 or 3 minutes a day, and every day increase it by a minute. And then what you'll find is that you'll be able to meditate for 10 to 20 minutes up to an hour easily. Because what you're going to do is each day just practice focusing more and more and more. Okay? So what to do is, if you want to continue this meditation and you need to recap, you can always just go back in the audio, follow the guides, which are in the PDF handbook. The guide is just to help you into the meditation, because you must go into some form of silence, and you can only do that yourself without my voice, okay? Remember everything I've told you? Refer to the PDF, or you could go back in the audios, okay? Whichever you choose. And just every day, get into that relaxation mode, okay? Start your day off with the divine, okay? That's a beautiful teaching that's taught by many people in Law of Attraction. Start your day off with the divine, okay? Start your day off with sitting with the divine you, and then you'll be able to go through your whole day in connection with the divine you. So this is going to conclude Module 3, and I will see you wonderful people in Module 4, okay? Have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye-bye.